Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ratchet Collector's channel today, and today we are taking a look at what has become one of the harder to find Studio Series Transformers. Now I bought this off the shelf when it first came out, so I didn't have to pay astronomical prices like I'm seeing on eBay and stuff. This thing's expensive. So if you have it, consider yourself lucky. If you don't, I'm sorry. But we can move him, we can take a look at his box here. So you got this nice picture of Ironhide here. It says Studio Series Autobot Ironhide. Got the 07 logo right there. Transformers up the side. Generation logo up there. Here's a 3D rendering of Ironhide himself with the Autobot logo up there. On the back here, we can see we have Ironhide in his robot and his GMC top kick mode here. You can see some of the other ones that released around the same time as this. You got Wave 1 and the other Voyager from Wave 2. And this side just says 14, Studio Series, Voyager class, with another picture of Ironhide. Take a look at his backdrop. It is from that end fight scene in the 07 movie, the Mission City battle. There we go. And as always, he looks pretty good in there. Got like explosions and stuff around him, as Ironhide should. Movieverse Ironhide, let me add that. So we can move the camera here and take a closer look at him. Here he is. And he's got this really nice like black and dark gray color scheme to him. Do a 360 here. I think this looks awesome. This is actually the figure very specifically that I wanted to do the transformation guides on, and I'll show you what I mean when we get into the transformation. There's some stuff that you got to do up in here to get this all locked in properly and stuff, and it is a pain. But like mine's locked in there, you can see it's pretty tight. It doesn't want to flop around and stuff. So I'll show you that in the transformation guide. It is a pain. I will just tell you that. It's very tight clearances and stuff. But he does come with two accessories. These are his cannons that he used in the 07 movie. I hope if they ever re-release this, I hope they do it as the Dark of the Moon and give him his two guns from that movie, because he actually had different weapons in that movie. But this is one of them here. Got all sorts of little missiles. Looks like he's fired some of them and hasn't fired some of them. Very cool looking. It honestly, they made it. It looks really cool because they made it look like truck parts up here and right here. This is his other cannon, big old beefy cannon here. And there's this port here and this peg here that you can actually put these two together, like so. And then this peg here will peg into the like the tonneau cover over the truck bed for weapon storage in vehicle mode, and I'll show you that when we get there. But he looks kind of odd without the cannons, personally, because I mean I don't really think you ever see him without the cannons in the 07 movie. For articulation here, he's actually fairly limited, actually. His head is on a ball joint, but you can only move it side to side that much before it hits the truck panels. It can ever so slightly wiggle up and down and side to side. Very little movement there. His arms are just on a little swivel joint, so they can only come forward that far. Even less when you have the cannons on, and back that far. He does have a butterfly joint up in there to kind of give him a little bit more range of motion, because when you swing it out, you can bend it further. And there is elbow rotation as well as wrist rotation. His fists look way too small. I don't know. There's something about them. They look too tiny and triangular. There is no waist articulation. That's just because of how this whole transformation here works. But there is pretty good sideways kick out movement here. And I like how they made this look like the tire of the truck here. He can kick forward pretty far. And he can kick backward decently. If you move this out of the way, you can go even further. He does have forward and backwards movement on the ankle here, but no ankle rockers. Oh, let's not forget the knee. He does have about a 90-degree bend in the knee there. So, I mean, overall, his arms are fairly limited, especially when you have his cannons on. They kind of block even more of the clearance. But his legs are pretty decent. But that being said, we can go ahead and get some size comparisons on this guy. So here is the SS-14 Ironhide with his little buddy from Dark of the Moon. This is the SS-29 Sideswipe. I do not have the new Sideswipe yet. I will be picking that up though. But as you can see, I think these two scale really well, actually. Get him out of here. And here he is with his not so little and not so buddy, also from Dark of the Moon. This is the SS-34 Megatron, and he tipped over. There we go. Go ahead and look up there. As you can see, Megatron is quite a bit bigger than him. As he should be. Megatron's always been huge in the movieverse. I think they look pretty good next to each other. Get him out of here. So we can go ahead and get him transformed. And like I said, this is like the figure that inspired me to do the transformation guides. So if you want to see the transformation guide on him and figure out how to do all of this stuff up here, go ahead and click. It'll be down in the description. And it'll also be up here. So we can go ahead and get him transformed. Alright, and here is Ironhide in his GMC. I'm just going to say top kick. It might be Apache, I'm not sure. One is Chevy and one is GMC. But here it is, and it looks very, very cool, actually. And now growing up, my dad had a truck very similar to this, so I can actually attest that this is very well done. And the front end there, looking beautiful. Especially this is what gets me the most for some reason. This little 4x4 logo is so realistic. It looks just like it really does on one of these trucks. And on the back here, doesn't want to stay fully tabbed in there, but there's an Autobot symbol right there. It says GMC there. It's got painted taillights, painted headlight. Well, not really painted headlights. Painted headlight covers, tinted windows. They even painted the roof lights up here, and these, I think these are turn signals. But very, very cool looking. It's a crew cab, as you can see. It's got front section, full back section with doors. It's got these smokestacks coming up here. And this big gap here can kind of be alleviated. Like I was saying with this, you can peg these two together. Just like that. And then this post here will go right there. And it kind of totally covers that gap, but now you have his guns sticking out the back. So it's kind of a trade-off if you want the gap or if you want the guns. There's really nothing you can do about these feet and this crotch piece here. It's just kind of how it goes. I do believe they make an upgrade kit that kind of folds those up, but I don't have any upgrade kits yet for my collection. Maybe in the future. I've been thinking about a couple of them, but maybe in the future. So this is him. He is a Voyager class, and he's a rather beefy one at that. So let's grab... This is the Deluxe Class Generation Selects deep cover here. And it might not be perfect, but in my opinion, that is a really good size comparison between a GMC Apache or Top Kick, whatever, and a Lamborghini. Because that's supposed to be a Diablo or a Countach. And it really does look like it, although it's all cyberized, but I think they look pretty good. Getting him out of there. And here he is with the buzzworthy Bumblebee Worlds Collide Bumblebee. And again, this Bumblebee might be a little small, but that looks pretty good. I mean, Ironhide is a very large truck. This is a lot bigger than your average, GMC, like Sierra. It is not a Sierra. It is a much larger truck. But I think they look pretty good next to each other. Get him out of there. So with that being said, I think this is an awesome, awesome truck mode here. It's even got a tunnel cover, if that's something you're into. I don't think he did in the real movie. I think that's just they had to use that space, so it got covered. But looks really good. We can go ahead and get him transformed back into his robot mode now. Again, if you want to see the transformation guide, it is truck to robot that is the more difficult, that has all the weird pinning together with this whole section. So if you want to see that, make sure to find it in the description or up here. Go ahead, watch that, get him transformed properly, and we can come back and take another look at him. Alrighty, and here he is in his robot mode once again. We can go ahead and get him to balance and then adjust the camera. There we go. So like I said, this is an awesome figure. He is getting very, very expensive and hard to find these days. So if you can find him for a decent price, get it. It's awesome. Especially if you're trying to fill out your 2007 movie cast, you kind of need him, as well as Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. You kind of need him, because this is the only Ironhide in the Studio Series as of now. But I think he is an awesome looking figure. They definitely went above and beyond on this. I personally think that the vehicle mode is really strong. Like it's one of the best looking vehicle modes I've seen in a while, and I own pretty much all of these Studio Series. So if you're asking me for a recommendation, double thumbs up, hell yes, get it. If you can find it for a good price, because it's outrageous these days. Transformation is a little finicky up in here, and like I said, I'll show you that in the transformation guide if you're interested. So if you liked that review, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out the transformation guide, and stick around for the next video.